we'll move on to Sigma stuff because that's all I've got left to share with you now. So I got another couple of things from the Nightlife collection. I can't remember if I shared the bronzer, but I'll share it with you again now anyway. The bronzer is called Limelight. Now, people have said that this is really great because it's not too orange. It's like it's quite cool for a contour. But for my very fair skin, it's not really. But it does make a nice bronze shade. So that's it there. Very, very pigmented. It does work out really nice for me to kind of do the temples, come down into the contour and then finish off with a cooler tone. So it is a beautiful bronzer and it's in a nice little package in there. And then I did end up picking the blusher, which is called Hotspot, which is... I don't know why, I didn't expect it to be quite as bright as this. It's like a bright corally peach shade. But it's beautiful. I love this on. As you can see, it's very pigmented. That is what it looks like. So stunning. So I'm very thrilled with that. And then Sigma also released some aura powders. They released 6 and I did pick up all 6. So I'm going to show you the crazy one first. This is the Sigma Pink Aura Powder. It comes in limited edition packaging and proceeds or profit from this that is made after, obviously they have the cost of making it. Any profits that they make actually go to breast cancer, or a certain percentage do. And that is what it looks like. And you're going to think, Lisa, you are crazy. You are so pale. What were you thinking? This is so stunning, guys. You've got to have a light hand with it because it is super pigmented, as you can see. But if you've got a light hand and you put it on, it is so beautiful. That's a very heavy swatch of it. I'll sheer it out a little bit, then I'll probably wipe off, but that's what it looks like. It's a beautiful pink flush to the cheeks. It is very bright, so I'll be very careful with it. Now, where did I put my wipe? Okay. So I'm just going to wash off. I'm just going to wipe off those swatches so I can show you the rest of the aura powders. So the other one I'm going to show you first, I'm going to show you the bronzing one. Because these can be just beauty powders, bronzers or cheek products. But In the Saddle is so stunning. This is the bronzer. And I have used this as a contour because I find that this is more cool toned than the other one. That's that one there. Really, really lovely. It's kind of got some red tones to it, which I find works really well with me being really pale. I can't wear anything that's too orange or yellow toned, but if it's got a red tone, it's got more cool. I know red's not a cool colour, but it's got more of a warmth to it because a bronzer is warm. You're not going to get a blue tone bronzer because it's like, well, that's not warm. Bronzer's meant to look like you're sun-kissed. If it's red toned, it works better on pale skins than an orange or a yellow, because an orange or a yellow just screams Satsuma, whereas the red tone's just quite nice and warm, but not too warm, and it just looks a lot more natural. So that one's In the Saddle. It's really, really lovely. Then this one's called Lady Slipper, which is a beautiful, this is quite a dolly sort of pink shade. You've got to be very careful. Like I said, super pigmented, but very pretty. With a light hand, that one's very nice. And I tend to mix that actually with this one. This one is called Nymphaea, which is a true sort of corally peachy pink shade. And they work really nicely mixed together. More mixed together than... I wear Nymphaea on its own, but I wouldn't wear Lady Slipper on its own. So Nymphaea is this one, and Lady Slipper's that one. Hopefully you can see because they're next to each other. But really nice. Love, love, love Nymphaea. And then the last two. Okay. So the last two are Pet Name, which is a nice soft peach one. I tend to use this on the tops of the cheeks as more of a brightening, almost as a matte highlight sort of shade. That's that one there. And this one, I've just been using this one so much. This is like my favourite blusher of the moment. This one is called Cordy Rosa, and it is a coral. This one is a bit of an obsession. That one's Cordy Rosa. Again, use them all with a light hand. People were like kind of saying, oh, they're sort of overpriced, blah, blah, blah. But when you look at them, and I'm going to show you them side by side, this is the size of a standard Sigma blush. And then when you put the aura powder next to it, there's no comparison. They're absolutely huge. They're crazily pigmented. They're going to last you forever. There's just no comparison. That's why there is a price difference. Okay, so I'll show you the standard brushes first. I picked up two powder brushes, one that I'm going to use for one that I use for bronze and one that I use for powder. So I got the F20 large powder brush. Sorry, they are used, so they do have powder on. I use this for bronzing. Find it's really nice and fluffy. It's a nice size and a nice shape to do bronzing with when I'm using powder bronzer. I also got the Sigma F30. I think this is the Pro large powder brush. It does have a longer handle and it just has a slightly smaller head than that one. And I think it's slightly rounder in shape. And this one, I don't know. Oh, so soft. They're so soft. But I use this one just for basic powder. And then I also got the F25, which is the tapered face. And I actually use this one when I'm doing bacon underneath the eyes. So I load it up with powder, and then because it's got a nice tapered shape, see, whereas this, if you put powder on one of these, they're so huge on the top, you just end up with it all over your face. With the tapered, I pop it on the side of the brush, and then you can just quite nicely get underneath the eye area and then pop it in there without it getting all over. And then I take the F30 and just take it off once it's been baking for a few minutes. So those are the standard brushes. Then these are the last items. I got the 7 of the highlighting and sculpting brushes that Sigma released. And I'm going to go through them very quickly with you. I will do a full review if you'd like to see one. I got the F56. This is the Accentuate highlighter brush. It's got quite a nice large surface. I'm sorry if any of these look dirty. I have been using them. It's nice when you put a highlight on the cheek. It's like curved. See how that curve there? It matches the curve on your cheek really nicely. And I've just been loading the top part of it up with the highlight powder and then just kind of using it to blur it in. It's a really, really nice brush. It's gorgeous. So I've been using that. And then this one, which is similar, because a lot of people haven't said this. In fact, I don't think I've seen anybody say this about this brush, but I'm going to say it. This is the Emphasize Contour, which is the F57, which, as you can see, it is the same shape, but it's not exactly the same size, and the bristles are a little bit different. I mean, these brushes are so soft, but this one is incredibly dense. You're going to get a very, very defined highlight with this because it's so dense. It takes a lot of product onto the bristles and then it lays it straight on the face. Now, the Emphasize Contour, what I love this for, and nobody's mentioned it, I use this with my Chanel Tan de Soleil, and I actually place the product on with one brush, and then I take this, because it's curved, it fits nicely on the curve of the top of your forehead. It's perfect for doing that bronzing around the top of your forehead there, down in your temples. Perfect. It gives you the perfect blur. It's, oh, honestly, this is a huge recommendation for me if you do use bronze products up there, particularly like cream products like Chanel Tan de Soleil. That's what I've been using it with, but I also use it to buff in powders as well. It's a really nice dense sort of surface as well, so it's really great for that, but I absolutely love that brush. The next one, if you want a really sharp contour, this one is the Chisel and Trim Contour, and this is the F77. I think it's one of the thinnest contour brushes I've ever seen. What I actually use it for is if I'm going to bring the crease down a little further down here, I find that if I just stipple on the product, then I can get a really fine line, and then when I do diffuse it out a bit or sort of blend it, it doesn't blend out too far because it's very sharp. It's also amazing for doing underneath, for doing down the sides of your nose contour, and if you want to do a little bit under your bottom lip, it's so thin, it just hits perfectly there, and then you don't get too much. So you can be very, very precise with this brush because it is just so thin, and it is a really, really amazing brush. And I also use it if I put on a contour and then I want to darken right at the top a little bit more. I take on a colour and then I just pop it there and just blend it nicely and get that darker shade right at the top of the very contour. then the next one is called, this is the High Cheekbone Highlighter, the F, I think that says 03. It's very small. Really love this one. Now this one is just a multitasker. It's really great for doing on the Cupid's bow because it's so small. On the tip of your nose and down your nose. I like to use it above the actual brows and then underneath the brows. It's great for highlight too. And then if I want to bring down the highlight into this kind of area here, if I'm like doing, I don't do a super sparkly highlight there, but if I want to do a little bit, then I'll use this because it's very small. It's not going to disturb other parts of your makeup. It's really great for doing the smaller areas of your face. Really, really love that one. The next one is another contour brush, and this one is the Extreme Structure Contour, the F04. Again, it's another small brush. This is beautiful. Sometimes what I like to do if I'm going for quite a structured contour is I use this one first to lay down the line and then this one to blend it. Because it's not too big and it is quite nice and soft and dense, it blends that out but it doesn't diffuse it too widely out, so you still get quite a nice sharp contour shade there. It's great. It's also great if you want to, actually this is great for baking also. If you want to do that sharp contour and you've put your contour on, load it up with powder and do that nice sharp line underneath as well. Really great for that. But this is lovely. This is great again for that darker pot of contour there. So you can just load up your brush and you can get right in under that cheekbone. You know that it's not going to splay out too much. You're just going to get a really nice defined contour. Really, really love this for that. It's a really great brush, so love that one. Then the next one is the Spotlight Duster. And this one is the F37. It kind of reminds me of the tapered face brush, but it's longer and it's softer. And yes, you can see powder coming off it. This, I do love this for the cheeks. This is just really nice. It diffuses the powder out really nicely. It's not like the other more structured contour highlight brush that will lay it down. What you might sometimes want to do, or what I do, is I take the very structured ones, very firm, lay down that heavier contour, then go over the Spotlight Duster and just soften that out and help blend that into the blush. Really, really love the Spotlight Duster. My favourite brush is the one I've left for last. This is the Soft Angled Contour and it's the F23. It's a thing of beauty. So this is lovely. What I tend to do with this is I will add, like, sometimes just put the bronzer in there. Before I sometimes do a contour, I'll just put a little bit of bronzer, and then I like to use this for blush, blending it into the contour area, and then I might take the, once I've done the contour, I might then just use this to diffuse everything out. It's so incredibly fluffy and soft. It's got a really nice head area. So if you like to do, if you don't want a very harsh crease going on, if you don't want a very harsh contour, this is the baby for you, because you can lay that contour colour in. It looks very soft, very softly blurred out. It just blends beautifully with your blush. This is an amazing, amazing brush and I love it. And that's it. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. I'm going to love and leave you there and see you all soon. Hope you're having a great day wherever you are and whatever you are doing. See you guys. Bye.